Hi gorgeous lights, welcome to the new day, and what a gift of a day it is today as well. Look, I just wanted to pop on because we're heading towards eclipse on the 25th, and it's a really big eclipse. You will be noticing that people are less tolerant, and they're moody and they're petty and they're reactive. Now, this has been going on for a couple of months, and I really want to be clear about it. We are in relationship energy at the moment, and the biggest relationship that you have is with your own self. So, a lot of the reflections that you're seeing out in other people are where people are getting stuck, and instead of looking at their processes, they're looking outward environmentally and going, this person is annoying me, or this is causing that. They're only reflections showing you what you actually need to heal in your own self right at the moment as well. Now, just as a heads up, it's kind of like, I love eclipses, but they always bring up kind of catalyst issues or issues that have just been sitting below the surface. So if you've had a long smouldering kind of family issue that can't resolve itself, chances are in the eclipse, anything that's hidden in the darkness will be brought into the light. So Spirit said to me this morning, can you just put a video up warning people to be incredibly kind to themselves as they process, but also can you please start to notice, so step back a bit, stop taking it personally, and notice what the universe is actually trying to show you right at the moment, because there's a lot going on. We're entering into the age of Aquarius, and in order to find that peace, love and harmony, we have to start with ourselves. In order to become unified as a planet or as a community or as a country, we need to actually have unity within ourselves. Now, when Spirit talks about this, they talk about the internal arguments that we are constantly having with ourselves over, have I made the right decision there, or did that person let me down, or could I have done better? These are all massive arguments that go on internally that are also reflected in the day-to-day stuff that's actually going on as well. So there's a real need right at the moment to just step back and know that if this catalyst energy is actually coming in for illumination, like I tried to use the word challenge the other day with Spirit, and they told me off and they said nothing is actually challenging, everything is actually illuminating, where your options, how you behave with yourself, how you behave with other people, all of this is defined by the energy of how you actually turn up. And because they're actually pushing, and there's multiple thresholds going on right at the moment, they're asking you to direct it back to your own self first, and look at the potentiality for where you criticise yourself if you're seeing criticism reflected environmentally around you as well. Now, if you've getting back to the catalyst energy, if you, as I said, simmering arguments with families, the potentiality for things to blow up in an unexpected way happens in an eclipse. If it's a work environment and the colleague that's been getting up your nose for months, chances are something will accelerate there. These are really good thresholds to say, how do you want to deal with conflict? Where do you want to come to a resolution in yourself about how that you would deal with it? So if you've got any of these issues that are going on around you, I suggest you look internally first. Don't over-agonise, don't scenario-ise, probably wrong word there, but Spirit is really, really clear that sometimes that you can go off into a bandwidth, if this is going to happen, I'll do this, say this, and this. And then if you notice sometimes that situation actually never, ever pans out, they're saying please understand that, pull it down to the present moment, but actually give yourself permission to actually say, I have a voice, I'm allowed to say what I want to say, and I'll do it, and I'll unify with myself instead of arguing with my own self in my own head. And I think it's really, really important in this energy, particularly as we're going forward with extended relationship energy, or so aesthetic to hear that, until about February next year, because apparently we're not dealing with the relationship with our own selves enough, and we are doing a lot of deflecting out into that situation caused me to feel, or that person caused me to feel, and we're blaming a lot of environmentals instead of coming back to what's our role in this, how do I want to turn up with this, how do I want to deal with myself through it, where do I actually apportion blame, which is really not a good thing. It is about actually going, do you know what, I have a choice in every single thing that I actually do, and I need to be okay with myself first before I actually do that. So we are talking about some really in-depth energies here, guys, and so a little bit of a heads up, it's always a good thing to actually understand that things can just kind of ping up hugely. Relationship energy is 100% governed on the way you treat yourself. So if you are self-critical and you go, it's always me that makes mistakes, then expect blame from other people. Because people say to me, I don't understand why I got multi-level learning around somebody telling me that it was my fault when it wasn't my fault. How many times in your own head do you say to you, it's probably my fault that that happened? It's the universe can only keep illuminating and showing you the habits and behaviours that you have with yourself through other people's actions. And that's just because this is a straight learning realm, guys. This is what you're here to actually learn. And it is too easy to distract ourselves by going, that person's just a that, or that person's just that. Or the one that I absolutely love and adore is people go, I don't have that trait at all. We're human beings, we all have traits that are they're good or bad or different or ugly or and lovely. That's just the way that it actually is. 34,000 emotions here, guys. You're going to run through all of them. So there's a need to actually say, you know, if that person's being extremely difficult, how difficult am I to myself? And I have a choice about whether I illuminate, whether I behave that same way, or I choose to actually remain in my own energy. And it's very much about how we're trying to find internal unity. So please look after yourselves for coming up to this eclipse on the 25th, and step back a little bit and give yourself room to actually say, I'm going to breathe before I react. Hopefully you'll weather through the energy and keep shining.